Being reactive is a fantastic indicator for inauthenticity. When you are so tuned into the reactions of others, to the preferences of others, and this is a natural thing for us. Our ancestors needed to be validated by others in order to be accepted in the tribe because being left outside of the tribe meant death more often than not. But nowadays it's not the case anymore. Nowadays our lives are not threatened anymore. But we still tune into the opinions of others all the time. We make our decisions in accordance to if other people accept us for it or don't. So you end up being reactive in every single domain of your life. You are reactive in your reactions, that's so stupid to say, but you are reactive in your social behavior. You are reactive in your micro expressions, in your micro decisions on a day-to-day basis. You are even reactive in the way you dress, in the way you talk and behave in general. You are reactive in every single part of your life. It's very mainstream and it's very popular, but the number one thing people regret on their deathbeds is not living life for themselves, is being tuned into the opinions of others, is being guided by others' opinions all the time. Being reactive, 101. When you are reactive all the time, you actually betray yourself, but it's quite subtle and interesting because there are two parts of you. There is one part that hates you and starts hating you even more because you keep betraying who you really are. And then there is this other part of you that is happy and praises you for being socially accepted. Because if you are always people pleasing, if you are always tuned into what others think and you try to please them all the time, you will be accepted more. Now, on the opposite side, there is being proactive. And when you are proactive, you have the courage to go against the flow. You have the courage to disrupt patterns. You have the courage to take leadership of situations, of conversations, and just impose your authentic preferences out there. I believe being proactive used to be a hit or miss in our ancestors' times, where you might have been kicked out of the tribe, but if being proactive was actually used properly, you would get huge respect. But nowadays, being kicked out of the tribe is not that big of a threat. And being proactive shows that you are confident, and people respect confidence a lot. So if you want other people to respect you a lot, start being more proactive. Start taking decisions that are not necessarily accepted by others. And just imposing your frame out there. And an interesting concept I promote all the time for, especially if you are struggling with social anxiety and feeling insecure and inferior, is to start stepping into the frame, into the persona of a king. To start implementing the traits of the king, because the king doesn't care. The king is just so secure. The king also sees himself as being superior to everyone else, which is not something I advise. I believe superiority and inferiority shouldn't occur at all. As Adler said, comparing yourself to other people all the time is a horrible habit to get into. And I believe we are guided by our feelings of inferiority anyway. Our feelings of inferiority are something natural, native, and they serve as a compass for us to make progress. So we don't really need to consciously take some time to compare ourselves to other people. Now, as a whole, you are unique anyway, so you can't really compare yourself to others. You could compare certain skills and certain, characteristics of your appearance and behavior, but that's quite unfair as well, because you don't know the other person's circumstances. Maybe they started from a better place than you or a worse place than you, but that's something you don't know. Maybe they had to put more work or less work, but again, that's something you don't know. So comparison is useless anyway. But again, back to the king analogy. The king is super, super secure. The king doesn't even think about other people's opinions, right? Because the king has the ultimate authority. But you, in your life, in your micro decisions and micro behaviors, you also have the ultimate authority because you are the master of your own person. So why would you keep being in this reactive state? Why would you keep being tuned into other people's opinions all the time and, being so afraid and so reactive? Why wouldn't you just say, like, enough is enough, I've been reactive my entire life, it's time for me to embrace my preferences, it's time for me to embrace my authenticity and actually impose my frame. Take the courage to do that, and you will thank yourself so, so much.